Saints Patriots just ended about 5 minutes ago, 34-0. Wow. So we talked about this was a rubber meets the road, loser leaves town kind of match for both teams. One team was going to kind of figure their season out. The other team did not. Spoiler alert, the team that did not was the Patriots. They are a total mess. They are a disaster. Saints, look, they had to do what they had to do. This is a tough spot, okay, to go on the road, season basically on the line, a lot of criticism, a lot of scrutiny, to go into New England against a Belichick team who just came off of the worst loss of his career before this loss. Not an easy spot, and the Saints did, I mean, look, they looked great. They looked fantastic. They did exactly what everyone's asked them to do. We're going to break down the box score here. Now, there is some game script stuff. So, obviously, when you have a game that's this out of hand, this lopsided, you can't just blanketly look at the stats and kind of judge the game from that. So, some of this will have an asterisk on it. But there was a lot of really good things here. There was a lot of really good things the Saints did. There was a lot of good things Pete Carmichael did. You know, we crush Pete Carmichael on a daily, hourly, minutely, weekly basis. So, when he does well, I have no problem giving him kudos, and I thought he did well in this game calling plays. Some people may say, well, of course the Saints were good, the Patriots were terrible. But that's not really the truth. You know, yes, the Patriots did give the ball away, but the Saints scored points off turnovers. That's all you can do. They scored points when given the opportunity. They finished drives when given the opportunity. They were creative. One of the most creative plays the whole time was, I think, the last touchdown, the little shovel pass to Foster Moreau. I love it. I love to see that. And this was a game, we're up 21-0 at halftime. This is a game that Pete Carmichael could have easily said fullback dive, fullback dive, fullback dive the entire time, and no one would have blamed him. But he kind of experimented a little bit. He pushed the ball downfield at times, even late into the game. Chris Olave had a pass that could have been a touchdown, a deep pass from Derek Carr that Olave kind of dropped, rolling through the end zone. So there was some chances there that, you know, the Saints could have capitalized on. This score could have been even more lopsided. So let's talk about the positives first. Defense was unbelievable. Obviously, it's 34-0, but they were everywhere. They were pressuring Mac Jones. They were completely stifling the run. Turnovers, the pick six. The 4th and 2, when Demario Davis met Ramondre Stevenson in the hole, my TV shook. My TV was shaking with the impact of Demario Davis's hit. And to think about Davis playing at that level, like to have that kind of just fire up this big of a lead, that he's going to do that shows the heart of this team. It shows the heart of the defense, and we knew that was there. You know, we never questioned the heart of this team. We never questioned if they were going to play hard no matter what, and they do. You know, a lot of other teams would have taken their foot off the gas, and they would have let up, you know, some late score, and they wouldn't have pitched a shutout. The Saints did. Another huge positive, Blake Grupe. Look, guys, can we just say it? Can we say Blake Grupe is one of the best kickers in the NFL? I mean, 2 kicks, makes both of them, both from 50 plus, but I'm sure there's going to be some people who say that doesn't matter because they weren't clutch, right? Isn't that the thing? Blake Grupe's not clutch. Well, Blake Grupe is kicking at about 92% on the season. So if the only way he could be better is if he was 100% on his kicks. He's missed 1 kick the entire year. And the second kick today, the 53-yarder, was into the wind. So great stuff from King Blake. Glad to see that when everyone else was putting him down, we at this channel were holding him up. Derek Carr. Carr looked okay. Again, this is one of those ones where, what do you expect? You know, the game was totally out of hand, so you can't expect Carr to go out there and have 500 yards passing. I liked how they pushed the ball downfield. I liked how Carmichael and Carr took chances. There were a few times when Carr held the ball a little too long. There was a few times where the accuracy wasn't there, and maybe he's working his way back from the shoulder injury. You know, last week we just assumed he was close to 100%. Maybe that wasn't the case, and maybe this week he's actually closer to like that 90% area. But I liked him moving the ball. I liked him. There wasn't a check down. There wasn't any of that stuff. You can even look at the stats here. Kamara goes from 13 catches to 3 catches on 3 targets. So they utilized him when they had to, but he was really getting the ball kind of spread around. Olave, 2 catches for 12 yards, but word on the street was he was dealing with an ankle injury pregame, so maybe he was a bit hobbled. Thomas looked great again. Thomas had some really tough, really physical catches. But the best player, I think, on offense was Alvin Kamara. Kamara, look, we're kind of getting that. I don't want to say peak Kamara. I don't want to say like the best version of Kamara, but way up there. He's playing really, really, really well. I mean, what he was doing. Some of the, like, this stat line doesn't show it at all. There was a few plays there. One of his catches there, I think it was a 12-yard one. He caught basically the line of scrimmage. He broke like 3 tackles, cut up the field, got the first down. So I love what I'm seeing from Kamara, especially given this is like his second game back. So you got to wonder if there's some rust he's knocking off. Is he even at the highest level he'll be this season? So it's good to see him being dynamic. But this means a lot for the Saints because this now puts the season kind of back on track. This is what we needed, basically. This is exactly what the Saints had to do to separate themselves from kind of the fake contenders and the actual contenders. The Patriots, we know where they are now. Exactly what I was saying before the game. The loser of this probably knows where they are with the rest of the season. The Patriots know where they are with the rest of the season now. They know that Mac Jones ain't it. They know they got to make a change. They know that whatever they thought they had isn't there. And the Patriots are closer to a rebuild than they are to contending for virtually anything. Saints, not the case, right? Saints now back in the driver's seat. Everything looks cool. They get to go to Houston. Houston, tough loss against Atlanta today, so Houston's reeling a little bit. You pick up a win there. You're 4-2 playing Jacksonville. Not bad. Not a bad situation at all for when you take into account the injuries, when you take into account the suspension for Kamara, when you take into account just how poorly they've played. If we're looking at 4-2 going into that Thursday night game, even if we drop it, 4-3 through your first 7, not too bad. So what I'm hoping, now let's look at the team stats real quick. So team stats, third down, 5 for 15. I mean, New England, look at this, 1 for 14. Horrific. Hard to be worse than that. Total plays, so dominated the plays. Yards, over 300 yards. Yards per play, 4.3. Nothing great, but again, that's a game script thing. Like, how much of that is just killing the clock? How much of that is just running the game out? So you can't look at that and just take a blind, grade that blindly. Passing, kind of the same, kind of the same thing where Carr ends up with 168, but why would he be throwing the ball around? 21-0 at halftime. I'm kind of surprised Carr played for as long as he did. He played pretty deep into the second half, and people thought he was going to be taken out early, given the shoulder and stuff. But I think, I'm assuming that Carr probably feels much better, and he's probably taking the back half of this game and kind of knocking some more of that rust off. If we go down to passing, yards per pass, 6. Again, I mean, look how just putrid New England's numbers are. I mean, 3.4 yards a pass, 2 interceptions thrown. God, rushing 45 yards rushing on 18 attempts, 2.5 yards an average. Us, not great shakes rushing, nothing really to write home about. Talking about 42 rushes, no surprise that we ran the ball that much with the lead. 3.2 yards a rush. How much of that was New England knows we're running the ball, so they're trying to stop it? It is what it is. Turnover margin, this really kind of told the game. The Patriots, not only were they completely ineffective on offense, but they were turning the ball over too. The Saints, like I mentioned, got a lot of points off turnovers. I believe it was 17. It might have been more, but last I checked, it was right at 17 points off turnovers. Saints were in New England territory a lot, and we talked about that in the preview to the game. We talked about if New England is giving us great field position and all of that, do we still credit the offense? I say yes. I don't think this wasn't a situation where even though the special teams or the defense scored, even though that we had 3 turnovers, even though the Patriots could do literally nothing on offense, even though all those things were true, I think the offense still had to finish the job. It still had to finish the drives that it had good field position on. It still had to, get points. And I think it was great. I just, this isn't, this is, you got to enjoy these. You got to enjoy these. Anybody who looks at this and says, oh, well, Carr still threw under 200 yards, or, oh, well, Kamara didn't have 100 yards, they're just trying to they're being negative for negative sake. We got to, this is great. This is a great win. This is you don't want to say season saving because it's only the 5th game of the year, but it kind of is season saving. If you look at, and then obviously time of possession, we completely dominated, but to be expected with the score. First downs, 17-8. Like this team was moving the ball. The team was moving the ball. If you look at the drives, you look at the drives here. We go to start the game, punt. At this point, when I'm staring at a punt and then New England punts and then we punt, I'm thinking this is going to be a long day. I'm staring at the back of the fridge. I'm staring at the Samuel Adams Oktoberfest. I'm staring at, I'm thinking about really ruining my afternoon with a couple of punts. And then the pick 6 happens, and then boom, we go touchdown on an 8-play 62-yarder, then a 5-play 60-yarder. So again, good field position, but had to do what you had to do. And importantly, finished the drives with touchdowns. Like, that's something we weren't doing. We were settling for field goals. Not the case there. Then, we come out, groupie, the man. This wasn't great. This right here wasn't strong. 4 plays, negative 6 yards. But, it is what it is. You can't have success in every drive. Another touchdown, field goal. Yeah, look. Does this completely absolve Dennis Allen and Pete Carmichael? Absolutely not. But this does give them breathing room. It gives us breathing room. They took criticism this whole week, and we got to give them a passing grade. We got to give them a passing grade and hope, fingers crossed, we got to hope this is a step in the right direction. We got to hope that we build on this. The worst has already happened. We can kind of breathe easy that y'all don't have to hear me say we've scored 4 touchdowns on the entire season. Y'all don't have to hear me say that we're the lowest scoring offense in the NFL. Y'all don't have to hear me say that anymore. Because we don't have to compare our offensive production to Justin Fields' passing numbers. So we've kind of erased that part. Hopefully we continue taking steps forward. But now we can kind of, the ship was rocking, ladies and gentlemen. The ship was rocking. We were concerned. We were taking on water. We bailed ourselves out. We plugged the hole. And now if we win in Houston, we're kind of right back to where we want to be. We're right back to, okay, this team can stack wins, easy schedule, take advantage of the division, playoffs are in sight. All that stuff is still there. If you look at this game, let's see if we go to the box score again. Wait, here we go. Okay, so we had, let's see, how many red zone? Does it show on here how many red zone? Yes, we had 4 red zone trips, and we had 3 successful. So again, we were good in the red zone too. That's something else that's kind of plagued us, was that. So I'm happy about it, guys. I really am. I'm happy about it. I think anytime you get a win like this, you do have to temper. You have to temper expectations. You have to temper your excitement level a little bit and focus on next week. This doesn't mean anything if we don't continue the momentum. This doesn't mean anything if we don't see continued progression. So for 1 week at least, Pete Carmichael is safe from the wrath. Dennis Allen is safe from the wrath. Tonight, I got a feeling Pistol Pete will get a good 8-9 hours of sleep because he will not hear my channel in his nightmares throughout the entire week. So great stuff here from the Saints. Let me know in the comments below what you think. How are you feeling coming off of this win? It's got to be good, right? It's got to be good. But how do you feel what did you see that you think we can build on? Was it the passing game? Was it the running game? Was it the creativity? Was it the Foster Moreau shovel pass? Was it all that stuff? You know, because again, you look at this and I mean, everything we talked about is kind of here. Everyone got involved. You know, nothing was crazy. There was nothing. I was sitting there. I'm watching, focused, waiting for something to happen. Never. No slip ups from Pete or Dennis. So let me know in the comments below. Great win from the Saints, 34-0. The season is back. The 1 seed is back. The division title is back. The playoffs are back. We're back. 12 wins minimum. Easy. Love it. We're on to Houston. We will cover more of this game throughout the week. We will cover more of this game today and tomorrow and Wednesday. We will keep moving. Thank you for watching. I will see you in the next video.